welcome back, everyone. We're here drinking for episode 5, episode 6, technically, I guess. That number doesn't matter. There's only one number that matters, guys. That's 16 days. 16 days until we play. We will have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in our hands. We're back. This is Podcast Ultimate. This is our final episode before the launch.
The season finale.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm here again, Mike. Mike Burgess, video producer for RationalPassions.com, with Alex O'Neill, editorial-in-chief, and Scott White, also editor and producer from the site. We're here to talk more about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I mean,
I like these titles that you've assigned us, Mike.
what?
I like editorial-in-chief.
Your names?
It's so professional.
Professional. Well, I figured, it's the last episode.
Yeah, we gotta go all out.
We gotta go all out.
Is it weird that I kind of got bummed out when you said 16 days because I thought it was shorter than that?
I mean,
well, it's kind of like 15 and a half because
Yeah,
it's probably going to be like a 9 o'clock release or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what I would say. I would say technically we're close enough to it as 15 days. And I mean, people probably listening to this, it'll probably be even shorter than that. It'll probably be basically 10 days
God
by
damn.
that point.
I'm so jealous of the people watching this in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about
that
how
they're
lucky
even
you are.
Closer.
Man.
That you're closer than us right now in this current time. I'm thinking about time too much in my head and it hurts.
It's alright, man.
So
we got Darksiders 3. It'll be fine.
I'm so stoked. I'm
So
stoked for. I'm so excited. I can't talk. I'm stoked for
Yeah.
Darksiders 3. So I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's good.
Me too.
Yeah, so we'll be talking a lot of things Smash. We basically know everything since the last episode. Our last episode was technically our kind of last Nintendo Direct Smash Direct reactions, where we saw the final 2 characters, Ken and Incineroar. We saw we got the reveal of the single player mode, and some other lots of we saw a lot of menus for sure. We saw spirits and we saw DLC further plans. So in this episode, we'll be
And Piranha Plant.
right and Piranha Plant, the first actual DLC character, and the only one that matters really, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we will be predicting some of our characters that we will think are DLC or want to see as DLC later in the episode. There was some news that came out actually this week that we're recording that we'll talk about. That's some preview events and some trailers. And the end of the episode, we'll be taking all of the character reveal trailers and we will be ranking them from best to still pretty good, but the least best, I guess.
The least best. Yeah.
Yeah, and then from there, after that, we'll kind of talk about the future potential for future episodes and what we're going to be doing when the game comes out. We plan on playing the game a lot. We'll be streaming it, doing all that stuff. We'll talk some of that out and figure some stuff out. But for now, let's get into some of that news that happened this week. And that this week there was, or I guess an embargo dropped. It wasn't technically this week, but it was a big event in New York where a bunch of press got to go to, and they basically got to play I think 4 or 5 hours of Smash Ultimate, basically the final version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They let them play some of the new single player adventure mode, World of Light. They showed them some classic mode, they showed them some spirits mode, and then they just let them loose and play a bunch of multiplayer matches. So there's a lot of footage out there. I mean, I think that was kind of the biggest new things they showed were single player related, but even that was not necessarily I would say full on spoiler, but I mean if you still want to go in blind, keep that in mind that there is footage of stuff out there. We did get to see actual bosses that are going to be in these modes in action and fighting them, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I know Alex in particular was staying away with them. I don't know how much
I just didn't watch any footage. I'm fine with knowing what's there, but I just figured I'll just see it when I play it.
Right, totally. Are you in the same camp, Scott, or did you watch any of it?
I had a resolve to not watch it for about 3 seconds, and then I was like, well, fuck it, I'll do it anyway.
Right.
And I watched some of them. I haven't watched all of them.
Right.
But,
yeah. So I'll break down a little bit of it, but basically for the stuff that's out there for World of Light, like they really didn't show anything that was not in the direct, really.
Yeah.
In the direct reveal, like it literally, because it seemed like they were super specific, like Nintendo, to press of like what they showed. Because I think like I was like reading some just people generally talking about like they weren't allowed to show menus of any kind for whatever reason. So like if you even like a lot of these videos that were shown, there's like a billion cuts everywhere because they had to like cut around everything. But in the World of Light footage that's out there, it's basically that scene you see in the reveal where like Kirby's like on like the painted mountain, like overworld, and then he goes down a track and then starts fighting various spirit battles where he like has the first battles against like a Mario that's like shifting between turning just being Mario but also turning metal. It's like that's like this first spirit battle. And then he goes, and then like kind of cuts around to different spirit battles. Like I think I saw one that was like a Rob that could only shoot laser beams. Like he only uses neutral special. They showed that stuff, and that was kind of really it. Like it was really just like they showed a first couple matches, like that in spirits, and then you see him essentially taking on Mario along the path to like unlock him to use in that mode, and that's just kind of like you run into Mario, you fight him on Final Destination, you beat him, then you unlock him, and then you can choose to use him, and you can equip him with spirits and do all that stuff.
What was cool to hear, like the Easy Allies preview was the only one I consumed of this because it was pretty short. It was good to hear that like apparently the matches are pretty short. The World of Light matches are, which is nice because if there really are like dozens and dozens of them across that board, I would hope that they go pretty quick. Yeah, and that was I listened to a handful of them, and that was definitely seemed like the case because I think they were saying they ultimately let people in that mode play up to the point where they unlocked like 2 or 3 characters, and then they just cut them off. So they didn't get very much further than that, and it seemed like they said that unlocking those like 3 or so characters was about like 30 minutes of playtime. So that's not bad.
I can't remember which article or video I watched. It might have been Game Explain mentioned they kind of touched on how long the estimate on how long it would take to unlock everyone, and the developers said depending on your skill level, the average player will be able to unlock all the characters within like 2 to 3 hours, which I think is like really good because that means you can get in the morning or early afternoon and have most, if not all, the cast by the evening or by the end of the weekend. Yeah. So that's really cool. Another thing I noticed in one of those spirit battles, I think spirits some spirits might give you the ability to start a level with an item. Because I remember seeing Marth starting with a killing edge, and I was like, ooh, that could be interesting.
Yeah. So there's like the spirits overall after watching this footage remind me a lot of like they're more refined, but like it reminds me a lot of like the Smash Wii U 3DS like custom stuff you unlocked. Like they seem like they're in that similar vein. They're just like a little bit more refined, like you said, like ones that'll just start you with an item, or like ones give you like specific immunities or things like that. They just seem like a more refined thing like that, which is nice. I just hope that specifically with World of Light that there's other stuff besides that, like at least a little bit. Yeah. Like because I feel like if it's just nothing but these spirit battles, I could see it still feeling a little repetitive.
I'm bummed with. Yes. Sorry.
That's fine.
I thought that was on silent, but I'm bummed that you can't do like 2-player World of Light. Like you can't co-op it with a friend. That bumps me out.
You can co-op like the other stuff. Like I think you can do like classic mode co-op and
Spirits
like
board.
Spirits board. Yes, so that's another thing. That's as well. That's like the other thing they showed. They didn't really show it, but like I think like the people just kind of talked about it in the preview, and they is that like the other thing in Spirits mode is this thing called Spirits board, which is basically just like it's kind of just like a page of characters that are spirit battles essentially, and you can do, and that's the ones you can just pick specific ones fight them, and if you win that match, then you get the little like shoot them with their when they have like a shield spinning around them.
That's
you
right.
Shoot them to like unlock them.
Yep.
So like that's where you get that, and they were saying they were told, excuse me, that in that mode, like all the spirit battles get refreshed like every like 5 minutes.
Oh,
So
wow.
it seems like it's like one of those things that you can just kind of do a couple of those and then go do something else, then come back to it, and just like basically that's like seems like that's the way if you're that completionist guy who wants to try and get every single spirit or something in that game. But it sounds like there's an insane amount. That's
How many
like,
have they announced a amount?
They haven't said a full amount yet. Like, but I think Game Explained did like a video of like, here's all the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And it was like 400, like
448. All 448 spirits in Smash Brothers Ultimate that we know about so far.
I thought it was like 800. So
yeah, so it probably I would not be surprised if it went beyond that number. Like if it went like 800 or beyond.
yeah,
Like that just seems like a thing they can just keep churning out.
I wonder if
but
they
yeah,
would add spirits in with like the DLC characters as well.
Yeah, that I could totally see that, or just as like a random update, be like, hey, here's a bunch of new spirit battles, have fun, or whatever. I could totally see that,
And it makes sense. I mean, the spirits are just JPEGs, like they're just still images, so I think they would be pretty easy to add, and I hope they do add them with the DLC. But if there's 800, it's gonna. Plus, you can like evolve them and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very interested. The more I've seen of the spirit mechanic, I would really like to do like a spirit friend tournament, like where everyone just brings their character, like maxes them out or does whatever they want with their spirit, and then
just
play with
around.
friends. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I mean that's the thing. I think that it's really the smartest thing they could have done in a weird way with this mode is like I said, like they literally had the same exact stuff in Smash Wii U, but no one ever did anything with it, just because it was that I think it was just a weird offshoot thing. Like you had to play like the weird side modes to even unlock this stuff, and like some of it was like a little bit more obtuse, where you're like more so changing like stat values than this, where it's just like it's a little bit more refined. You can be like, hey, look, here's fucking Otacon, and I'm gonna slap him on my character. This is cool. You know what I mean? Like
a big sticker, you know?
Yeah, like they basically just like took the idea of stickers and the custom stuff that were both like in their own respective games, like no one liked them, and then like combined them into this game, and now everyone's like, holy crap, this is cool. I know I want to like unlock them all and do all that stuff. It's like that weird like super smart thing that like Nintendo does, that like just takes like these ideas that were bad in another sense, or people didn't necessarily like, and now people like immediately love them. Like Echo Fighters, for example. Like people didn't really like clone characters, but now people were going crazy for wanting more and more Echo Fighters. You know?
They went back to the
That's
90s and they plucked fatheads out of the 90s, and they're like, we're bringing this back in a big way.
Hell yeah!
Put some
Get 'em
football
in.
man on your wall and have him be life size.
Open up your spirit packs. Look forward to
Suddenly
the
it's
spirit
Otacon,
box.
is a life-size Otacon. Just stick him on the wall.
Stick them on the wall, and you get like a ray gun or
You
something
start with a ray gun.
in life. It's amazing. So like they didn't really show anything dramatically new with World of Light, which is to be expected. I feel like this early on, but it was still cool to start seeing that stuff. The thing they did show more of, though, which got me excited a lot, was they showed classic mode off there, and basically I think they gave like the press like a pool of characters to choose from. Where it was only like 4 or 5 characters that they let them play through classic mode, and basically classic mode works more like it did not in Wii U and 3, but it was more like Melee 1 in a way, where it's 6 rounds. Each character has like a themed version of it, like Sakurai stated before, and like when he showed him off, that like reuse classic mode is a series of one-on-one battles on Final Destination, and both the characters are like doing stamina battles. In this press event, one of the characters I can play was Wolf, and Wolf's theme is he's like going against all of the characters that were cut from the previous games and have come back in this game. So he's like fighting like young Link and Snake and
That's cool.
yeah. So
I like Duck Hunt, how Duck Hunt Dog or whatever was just fights the animal themed.
Yeah, he's
characters.
he's like basically going on a hunt against the other animal characters and stuff. So yeah, they showed I think like the characters that I know I saw out there were like they showed Mario. You could find Mario's classic mode, Duck Hunt Dogs, Wolf's, and Captain Falcon is also out there. So they basically it's 6 rounds that are themed to that character. The fifth one in those 6 rounds is like a special. It might be 6 rounds and then a 7th round. That's like a race. It's basically like a new race to the finish thing that they made.
Yeah, race to the
where it's like it's like a running platforming thing. It looks
the
cool,
side
but
scrolling,
then people were kind of saying like, oh, it's like from everyone playing different characters. That one thing was the same for every character. So it's like, oh, okay, that sounds kind of cool. But then potentially doing that 70 more times, maybe that
Hell yeah, let's go.
Cool.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be curious to see what incentive they do have to go through the classic mode with everyone, because before it was the trophies, but maybe
like
you
coins.
get special stickers. Maybe
I think
you get special stickers for that specific character.
Yeah, I think you could get like spirits and maybe like music or I wouldn't be, and like there's other like challenges and stuff.
So you got the
that go on that
in-game,
challenge board.
just like the in-game currency shop to buy spirits and buy music.
And also like I think there's another thing brought up about World of Light that is I feel like it's such an early thing on that mode that some people were speculating, which I'll touch back on. But what was it saying? Yeah, they had that race to the finish, and then they had the last thing in the classic mode is now each character has a particular, not like every single character, but they each have now like a different boss fight. It's not just they fight Master Hand at the end. Although we have seen since then that Master Hand is one of the bosses in that. We'll get to that. But from this event, we saw that in Duck Hunt's classic mode, his final boss is Rathalos. Wolf's final boss, like all the other characters got cut and returned, is the subspace boss, which I thought was a fun thing too.
Oh yeah.
And then Mario has the Giga Bowser fight. It's basically reminiscent of how you fought Giga Bowser in Melee, where you start off by fighting Bowser one-on-one on Final Destination, and you beat Bowser, and he like leaps back up onto the stage and like transforms into Giga Bowser, then you fight him.
Which is really cool because like unlike the last 2 ones, like Giga Bowser is not like a playable character model.
Yeah, and like they even like updated him to like he has all like the like Giga Bowser things he had when he was playable in like Final Smash and like the other games. But now he just has like all the bosses have like a big health bar at the top screen, so like you get that treatment and stuff. So it's really cool, and it's like it is like a straight callback to Melee because it even plays like the same themes and all that during the fight and stuff. It was pretty cool to see that.
That's right.
But yeah, those. I mean, they didn't like it's basically those are the bosses they showed at the event. They didn't show like any new ones. I'm sure there'll be other bosses besides that.
Well, we know there's probably going to be Dracula.
Yeah, there's Dracula. Which
I could see them being a boss for Simon and Richter.
Yeah, for sure. Dracula's cool. There. And then there was a video that came out, I think it was like literally yesterday. That was like a trailer like a 7-minute overview trailer for Smash. That. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. That and that's the one.
The announcer.
Yeah, that dude was like a little too much for me in that trailer.
He's excited, man. He's getting paid good money for that excitement.
It's true. He's making all his money right then and there. So
I wonder if he did all the announcements for like the names in the various languages.
I think he did some of them.
Yeah, I think he did some of them, but not all of them.
Not all of them.
Yeah,
I'm watching this Giga Bowser fight. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's basically like the Melee fight. It's pretty dope.
I also want to say, and this is completely unrelated, but the YouTube ad that pulled up before this was it was a Christmas ad for a Nintendo 3DS Mario Kart 7 bundle.
Hell yeah.
And like a kid getting a 3DS Mario Kart 7 bundle on Christmas and being stoked about it. And I'm like, what the did this come out of 2012 12. Like,
Yeah.
where am I?
It's incredible. I really wanted to then just pan over to like through the window of the house next door to the kid just holding up a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
And Mario
with,
Kart, Mario
with,
Kart
like
8,
Smash
be like,
Brothers.
"Yeah!"
And Mario Kart
Yeah,
8
the
is
Smash bundle of Smash Brothers, and he's so excited about his Mario
Yeah.
Kart 2.
he knows what happiness actually feels like. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have terrible parents. But,
It's like a
But
new
yeah.
2DS XL too. It's disgusting.
yeah, that was a pretty cool overview trailer, and that one, that's where we saw Master Hand. Like they showed like a quick snippet of Roy's classic mode where he was like fighting other Fire Emblem characters, and you see him fight Master Hand.
There's also this classic mode Mosaic.
Yes.
Which like
I want a printout of that so bad.
Me too.
To hang on my wall.
it looks incredible. It's like corresponds to the difficulty that you play on.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
God, that thing is so freaking cool.
Like I didn't think there's like now 2 really incredible pieces of art that have come out of this game. One
Yes,
is like
yeah.
the
that are just-
everyone is here, but this one is also cool.
Yeah, just giant banners of every character to exist.
Really
yeah.
quick on the bosses, I'm gonna be curious to see if they have, if like the assist trophies that will come out and fight will be bosses. Because I could see like Sonic, his boss being Knuckles, Mega Man's being like Zero. You could have Alucard being one of the bosses.
Mega Man's
You
could be
have
Dr. Wily.
Dracula.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is a Dr.
Yeah.
Wily assist
Wily,
trophy.
yeah, that's true.
And then I was even thinking even further for Mega Man specifically is reincorporating the boss from his stage as like having some kind of battle at the end of his
Yeah.
where he fights the Yellow,
Yellow
Devil,
Yeah.
and Dr. Wily or something. Yeah, like I was kind of thinking that too. Of they added a bunch of more assist trophies, so I could totally see them kind of reincorporating them into bosses. But I could also see like some other bosses returning from subspace. Like I could totally see a Pokemon boss battle where you get to fight Rayquaza again at the end. Yeah, I'd be down
I like
for that.
how
Or just like
Mike, I like how I ruined you on the pronunciation of Rayquaza. I don't know. Was it
Did
you
I-
that I had this conversation with?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was talking to somebody
Rayquaza.
about Rayquaza and Rayquaza, and I kept alternating between the 2 pronunciations in the conversation.
So now I'm just gonna.
I think it was us during Extra Life, like in the very late hours, talking about Rayquaza. But
Rayquaza.
I'm gonna just keep going back and forth.
Same.
I'll never decide on one.
Everyone's Rayquaza to my Rayquaza.
Yeah. You say Rayquaza.
yeah,
Some
I say
people
you're
just like
great.
to see the world burn.
Exactly. But yeah, I are there. But also, speaking of these bosses, like, are there any that we haven't seen that you would hope for to maybe see in this mode? Like any bosses that jump out?
I think
I would love to see a fightable Metal Gear Rex for Solid Snake.
that'd be really
Nice.
That's like very optimistic, but boy, do I want that to happen.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
I mean, they already have the model. He pops out in Shadow Moses.
Yeah,
so...
they even get Metal Gear Ray to come out in that thing. They get geckos to come out. They could do it.
Yeah, just fight a bunch of. You're just gonna fight a bunch of geckos.
Fighting a bunch of gecko would actually be pretty cool.
That'd be alright. Just jumping around.
I'm with you, Mike. I want to see all the subspace bosses come back. I want to see Rayquaza, whichever you prefer. I want to see
Raquel.
all the different forms of that big purple dude who I can never remember his name of. I think he only has
I was
2
gonna
forms.
say, I honestly don't remember the.
I don't remember the subspace bosses.
Yeah, I remember like the one I remembered the one that they brought back, the one that like turns into like a weird car,
Yeah, Purple Man.
and, like spins around, and then there's like the weird one that's like he's like a unicycle robot with like the red and blue on each side.
It's
That you
the
fight on like the Kirby stage.
yeah,
I
it's the
remember that
one
one.
Game Watch turned into or whatever.
Right.
Um,
And then of course like you fight Rob
Yeah.
as like the weird like fake Rob or whatever.
Piggy could be a really good one to bring back. for-
Porky.
Oh,
Porky,
Porky,
yeah.
right.
Porky.
Right. Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah, that would be good.
um,
Ridley, Meta Ridley. Probably won't be. We might get him as.
It'd be great
him
if,
as a
as
boss,
Ridley,
so-
you fought like big Ridley.
You just fight all the other. Yeah, you fight the 2 Ridleys or
Yeah.
the 2 Ridleys in the previous Smash games.
Yeah, and then you fight the weird Ridley from the other M stage in Smash 4.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, maybe we'll get the creepy like taboo monster who I
Oh,
just
yeah,
totally
yeah.
remembered with the butterfly wings or whatever.
Yeah, Taboo.
Oh,
Bring it
right,
back.
yeah.
He's
Come
coming back.
on, I'm on Smash Wiki
Yeah,
just
for Taboo.
looking up the bosses because I can't remember.
Taboo was just lonely. He was just trying to pull everything to subspace because he
Yeah.
couldn't leave.
Couldn't leave.
He's misunderstood, and then Sonic broke his wings like a dick.
Sonic showed up for like the 10 seconds just to be an asshole.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I
Sonic got his in World of Lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to be a good guy and just got fucking vaporized.
That's the lesson for all you kids out there. Don't break.
Save yourself. Don't look out for the little guy. Save yourself.
Don't
It's
ever
true.
help Pikachu, and don't break a demigod's wings.
That's all you need.
Don't be Sonic the Hedgehog, actually.
We need the NBC The More You Know thing flying by right now. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, come on, Mike. Use that new computer power for something.
Yeah, I was gonna
useful.
say. Let me
Come
just
on,
go,
video producer.
Let me just go. Sure, let me just go download a video off of YouTube of copy pasting it.
Just
lot of
drop
work.
this in the timeline
Yep, and I'm done.
for the editing prowess.
But yeah, I think they showed like the right amount of stuff here at this event. Like satiate me a little
Mhm.
in the like brief time that we have left. Like I don't really need to see much more than this. I'm kind of there with you. It's like that thing of like I don't really need to see much more, but like for me personally, I'm
It's just a
okay.
hit.
I'm okay. I'm okay seeing more. Like if more stuff does come, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna see it. And I'm just gonna look.
What I want to know is, Mike, if Nintendo had invited Irrational Passions to this event, and I sent you, would you 2 days before Extra Life have driven up to New York
Yes.
to play? All right, that's all I needed to hear. Yes. Stop asking foolish questions.
He
Yeah.
probably would have been like, if it was like the entire weekend, Mike might have been just like,
I can't make
"Nah,
Extra Life this
dude.
year, guys.
Sorry,
See ya.
guys.
It's really important,
See ya.
actually.
The money, but shit, guys.
Yes. I'm gonna drop off on my computer parts. Please build my computer again. Then I'm just
If something were to
It's gonna drive to New York.
catastrophically go wrong, you can build my
Yeah,
computer
you know.
and use it.
you can just build this here.
Yeah.
Gosh.
We weren't cool enough to get invited, but it was cool. I got to talk to a couple of people that were there. I think
Yeah.
it was cool to just have people play the full game before it comes out. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
get a
for
feel
sure.
it.
Just getting ideas and seeing the excitement come out of it, and just seeing like more direct feed footage of like the final game, because like seeing some of the characters we haven't fully seen yet, like K-Rool, and like even like some of that footage, like seeing just like Mario and like how like detailed some of his like animations and moves are now. Is like you can
Mhm.
like that's like those moments of just being like, yeah, this is like a new thing. It's like it's gonna be it's very exciting, and just like yes,
Yeah.
we're close, and
I've like
pretty
put Smash Brothers in like a lockbox in my heart now, so I'm not like actively looking forward to it, so it's not killing me. Is where I'm at this point.
Right.
That's just what you're telling yourself.
I've just like full on accepted it.
Yeah.
Like I've already started listening to
Mhm.
Smash music in my car on my way to work most days.
Hell yeah.
I'm already,
You're ready to plug your
I'm already
Switch
ready.
into the MP3 player in your car,
Yep. Exactly.
slip it into your carrying bag, and just pop headphones in.
Put on my sexy time playlist and
Damn straight.
listen to Kirby City Trial on
Listen to Gangplank Galleon on repeat.
Yep.
That's the only thing on the
Exactly.
Sexy Time playlist. It's just K-Rool's theme.
Yeah,
it's
buddy.
over.
I have a Friendsgiving on that Saturday. Thank God the Smash is portable.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Or the Switch is portable, and then
You'll
I'm
be
hav-
giving your friends a beatdown.
oh, it's true.
Yes.
And then one of my friends who I had back when they announced the release date of Smash Brothers, I organized a Facebook event for Smash Brothers Ultimate Party. So I got like 8 to 10 friends or something, all meeting up at this one guy's house. One of our friends for just a night of Smash on that Friday.
Our friend Logan Moore is having people like fly in from out of state for the release of
For
Smash
Smash.
Brothers.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
And I could not be more excited for him.
Yep. It's awesome.
No, hell yeah!
But yeah, we got a lot. There was a lot of stuff.
Lot to
shown
see,
there.
lot to get us excited.
It's very
Yeah, man.
cool. Let's move on to a slightly sadder note. We didn't for previous listeners and viewers of all that, we had for the last Smash Direct, we had a pour your one out segment for the characters we lost, characters we wanted to be loved. So I was thinking it's about time for this previous Smash Direct to bring him back again. Pour one out for your fan. Call in Waluigi. Tell him like, man, I'm sorry, boy. You're the first one. You were the first one to go. All these guys are coming with you, but you're not alone. It's okay.
Yeah, the
Cue
reveal
Sarah
trailer
McLachlan.
killed you. Yeah, Sarah McLachlan starts playing.
Yeah.
All the characters have puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, they're just tears.
Slow
Sad.
motion, black and white, or like grayscale video.
Yeah. So the first one we'll start with was a part of a certain leak that shall not be named anymore because it was always fake.
It's been banished.
That was it's been banished. It was Shadow the Hedgehog. I think he was like literally like the first assist trophy to like pop up on screen.
Yeah.
And like right when they started that scene, is he just popped in doing the same chaos control bullshit that he already did in the last game, and people were so sure that like this character. I don't know. I it's like the thing I love and hate about Smash speculation specifically is like how like all it takes is like for one character to not be shown in like a specific scene, and then that just like explodes everything. And like it's just people were so when we saw Knuckles as this trophy, like that was like when the game was first shown off, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, it was like
that was the big that was the first like Smash Direct.
Was that in the August Direct? Okay. It was either that one or in that one, and like we saw Shadow, and for some reason that just like flipped people's minds and be like, he's an assist trophy. We didn't see Shadow, so of course he's got to be a character, guys. Come on, like it's just like how people like immediately just jump to that and like the insaneness of it.
Let's move on though, because let's not waste time on Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, but it's just that just always blows my mind.
Actually, don't pour one out for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Alright, fine.
Pour one out for the guy that actually got us. Go ahead, Mike.
He'll be poured out, but since we don't want him here, I'll just light him up in flames.
The choose.
At this point.
We'll pour out the cheap booze for
Shadow the Hedgehog is the equivalent of the fire that
beer.
you light on the tequila when you take the shot. He's nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, pour one out for the guy that made us believe that Shadow the Hedgehog would be in a Smash Brothers game.
Yeah, it's true. The crazy people, again, the crazy people on the internet theorists. And then the next character.
This is the one that hurt me. Like this one.
I know. Yeah,
this
I know.
One hurt me deep.
If coming from a person who has no connection to this series, I never thought this character was going to be in. But here he is, Isaac. Isaac was also confirmed as an assist trophy. It's a very weird one too, because he was
it's the same one. He uses the push synergy and the grab and stuff.
Yeah, because he was originally assist trophy in Brawl, and then I guess for whatever reason he was not good enough to be a Smash Wii U 3DS assist trophy. And then they were just like, all right, everyone's back. We'll just throw him as assist trophy, like whatever.
Yeah.
And he's fine, I guess.
What's Isaac's what's his last name? Like, is he just Isaac?
I think so. I don't know if he has a
Isaac.
He's just always referred to as just Isaac, and I'm like, man, that sucks. No one even knows who you are, really. But yeah, Golden Sun.
But yeah, this one hurt. I just having played the games and knowing a bit more of like the things they can do in the games, like with all like the synergy and kind of like magic aspect, I think you could have made a really, really cool character around Isaac.
Yeah, I agree.
And just with all the different things you could do, and also because I would hope that if they did put Isaac in a game, that it would boost the desire for a new Golden Sun game, and then we would get Golden Sun 4. So that's also part of it. But
when they announce Golden Sun via announcing Isaac as a downloadable character for Smash Brothers, we'll revisit this.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here on that one. So the next character, which I feel like was like honestly the most savage of deconfirms out of the assist trophy characters, because he wasn't even in the footage.
Yeah,
it was Skull Kid.
He just got uploaded to the website. He was just done.
They basically just like put the full list of assist trophies up on the website, and Skull Kid was just like there, like thrown up in there. They didn't even show him in the game, so I was just like, damn, all right.
Skull Kid's
after
Go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say like that, and that also goes back to like the crazy speculation of like there was like the most tinfoil ass hat thing that came out of that one Smash Direct where Sakurai was sitting in a room and he had like chairs in the background that were colored like the fairies from Majora's Mask.
Oh, yeah.
Like pillows on he had pillows on a couch that were like the same like colors as Skull Kid's like, and people like picked that out and were like so adamant that meant Skull Kid's games. Like Sakurai's a crazy man. That's the stuff he thinks about, right, guys? And it's like he probably like probably just walked onto a set and had nothing to do with any of this. Like,
I love it though. God, I love it.
Yeah, it's just like it's
favorite.
how insane
It's
people
my
are.
favorite. I was gonna say Skull Kid's one of the ones that I absolutely never thought would make it into Smash Brothers, but I agree. I can see that he would be like a really cool character.
Yeah, he would be like really different.
Yeah,
and I think that's the thing that would be cool for him because like we have Robin, but we don't really have like a more proper like mage character, which I think would be cool in Smash. And Skull Kid would be like a pretty close facsimile to an actual mage character. Yeah. But yeah, he's an assist trophy still. I honestly forget whatever the fuck he did in the previous games, but he's there.
He laughed creepily. He floated a lot.
Yeah,
does a lot of floating.
Like Skull Kid himself didn't really do anything. Like
he just makes stuff happen.
Majora went crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't think you ever even fought like Skull Kid possessed by Majora.
I think that was like the first fight in the game.
In Majora's Mask, you never fight Skull Kid directly. You hit him with some bubbles and he drops an ocarina. But by the time you get to Majora, it's actually just the mask.
Right. But yeah, it is what it is on that one. Rest in peace. Poured it out for him. Next came that wrapped up the assist trophies. Then we got into like the next get ready for your favorite characters to die segments when Mii costumes showed up. And the first, I don't think this was the first one. I think this was slightly later in the DLC.
It was a little bit later, yeah.
It was like a DLC bonus.
Yes.
With Piranha Plant, and then we got Rex and Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles, or just specifically Rex as from
Rex wielding Pyra, yeah.
Rex wielding Pyra as a Mii sword fighter costume. And this one was like especially rough because like I've seen a lot of people like speculate that being a Mii costume doesn't necessarily completely like negate you from being a playable character, because some of the Mii costumes that are in now in Smash Ultimate are other playable characters. Like Crom's Mii outfit is still in.
Okay.
I think like K. Rool's outfit.
Do they have a list of the Mii costumes?
I don't think there's a list out there, but this is just people like outfits people have seen like in the footage that's been shown.
Okay.
So there's but specifically for Rex though, like Sakurai when he was talking about specifically was saying like, hey, by the time we were finishing this game up, like Rex was just not on the table, like he was not a character, so like that's why he like, so people are thinking that's more so that he's just not going to be, even though he's a Mii costume, he's just not going to be a character period, because all like how like the planning and the timing of everything worked out. But yeah,
which is fine. It is like these are the most brutal cuts IMO. If you see like those big dumb Mii eyes, you're like, oh boy,
damn.
Like I'm fine with Rex not being included. Like I really like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but he doesn't have. Like, they would have to really incorporate him being tethered to different blades in order for him to be really unique. He doesn't have anything himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that would be interesting.
Shulk's character is really interesting and cool, and like I don't know if they could do that again with Rex.
I mean,
with Rex,
exactly. Yeah. Rex doesn't have the Monado's, like the different abilities of that, or
he would have to be like tied to like other characters, which I feel like is like almost too complex in some ways.
Yeah.
It could be cool if they pulled something like that off, but I think it would be, like you were saying, like too complex. So
right.
I think it would be cool to have another Xenoblade rep, because Shulk is one of like few characters that is kind of by himself. Especially now that we've got like Ken and Richter. So it is a bit of a bummer in that regard, but it's fine.
Same with Mega Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other characters that are one-off that I could
Put Sephiroth in it, you cowards. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, that was Rex. Then in the actual Mii costume block, there weren't like too many that were too savage. Like some of them were ultimately pretty expected. We got, but I just wanted to shout out these two. Rayo 1 custom Robo Mii costume. Honestly, in some ways, that was better than I could have expected. I just figured he would also just be an assist trophy back again.
You got the representation.
Isaac.
Yeah.
So at least it's like, hey, I can make a Mii gunner and have a Ray costume. That's cool, I guess. The second one also, which I thought was like about as good as you're gonna get it for Chibi Robo, is a Chibi Robo gunner Mii costume. Like, I think Chibi Robo is like that weird character that's just he just does not have just enough yet to like become a full playable character. Like I feel like they need to like have that Chibi Robo game that that does like I think like maybe gets like a little bit more appeal, like a Switch game potentially, and like gives him like more of like a potential like set of moves to like work with, I guess. But yeah, he's like those two like are to be expected about that because they're just like small, very niche Nintendo franchises, and they are characters that aren't like that fully fleshed out in some ways. But it's cool
cute
to see
costumes though. Like the Chibi Robo costume is pretty damn cute, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool to see them at least in that form than like just like a JPEG spirit or something. So
I'll say this, and I'm not trying to light any fires here, but I have zero love for Chibi Robo.
damn.
Chibi Robo's dead to me.
I mean, I've not played any of the games, so like I don't have that much of a reverence for it either. But I've never really seen him. Like even with like the stuff I've seen from the games, and even like that more recent game that was like a weird platformer, like he just doesn't seem like he had like it has enough to like be like a proper character. Like it just is not enough there for him.
Yeah.
Like in the same way in that like the more and more I thought about it, even though they could have made an ARMS character work, it kind of makes sense for them as a assist trophy, just because like they just kind of box and there's not really like a full move set there yet necessarily for that characters. Like, but I think that was another instance of like they might have been a slightly further along than Xenoblade 2, but they didn't have enough together to make them fully fledged characters, so they got to be assist trophies. But yeah, that's the final pour one out segment for before the game launches, before Smash Ultimate launches.
Have any of our pitches been deconfirmed officially?
I'm
trying to think.
So we had I guess mine being custom Robo in some ways.
Yeah, that would be one. Yeah.
That one. Did you do Isaac at one point, Scott?
I did Gino.
You did Gino. I mean Paper Mario, not really, but come on.
Yeah,
there's a Paper Mario stage that looks pretty badass though.
Yeah, that's from the 3DS. But, that's from the 3DS game. So
yeah.
I don't think really.
Yeah, outside of I guess the custom Robo would be the most explicit.
Yeah, like I think it was like that one. Because I was trying to think of like our first one was like you did the Bravely Default character, Paper Mario, and then
you did Slippy.
Slippy, right?
You always forget about Slippy, but I don't.
I do. I shouldn't forget about Slippy. He's a good boy.
We did Gino, Black
Wright?
Mage.
Yeah, I had Black Mage
and
Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright, yeah.
I think Phoenix Wright might be a spirit. I think I might have seen him as a spirit, but I think those also are not.
It's weird.
Spirits are not deconfirming characters either.
And then we had Travis Touchdown.
Wonder Red.
And that was Monster Hunter and my custom Robo one.
Yeah.
And then the one I honestly completely forgot about for the episode before the Drix. Yeah, that was Banjo, Sceptile, and
Sceptile.
Who did you have for that one, Scott? Do you remember?
That one might have been Wonder Red.
You had Lloyd Irving for one.
Yeah, Lloyd.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah. That was
Lloyd. I think was that one.
We've done all right. I'll take that.
Yeah,
then.
I was gonna say we just got the one. Yeah, but we'll have to see though. because now it's time to do some predictions.
Oh man,
Theories and predictions, boys.
Speculation. I
know
love it.
speculation. We know that there's going to be 5 characters in the Smash Pass, Season Pass, Smash Pass.
Smash Pass is the best. It's the best.
It's true.
Smash Pass says best
it's
pass.
going to be five characters with each with a stage and some new music that'll probably be on that stage.
I'm curious.
So-
have you guys bought the Smash Pass yet?
I have
haven't
not.
yet. I'm probably just gonna buy it whenever I first bring Smash
Pick up the
home.
game or whatever.
Didn't
got mine
know
as-
I was the only real fan here. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna load up my Nintendo Switch right now.
Yeah, I got the bundle digitally, so I got everything
Mhm.
ready, which is
So-
cool. I'm just stoked to know I got 5 characters in my future.
Yeah. And let's I say how you want to do this. I say because I have 5 characters here in front that I wrote down.
Okay.
We got 5, so I did 5 characters, and I also did a stage alongside mine. So I don't know if you guys went as far as that. That's okay if you didn't. But I'll say, how about we each go around? Like I'll do one, then we'll keep going in that rotation. How does that sound?
That sounds good. I think there's gonna be a lot more crossover in these.
Yeah, I was
so-
gonna say. That's what I was gonna say next. Is if we do have crossover, we can just be like, hey, that character's on my list too, and we can just kind of all talk about it there.
Yes.
Did you want me to start, or did you guys want to start?
You start, Mike.
You start.
Because
Yeah.
because my list is a little. I think people are actually not gonna like my list too much.
Okay.
That's the spirit.
Because I also like it's. Here's how I'm thinking. I've been thinking more and more about how they're gonna handle this because I specifically started thinking this way when Sakurai himself tweeted out in English that was like, look, these 5 characters are decided on. They were decided on by Nintendo, and then I just basically went through their choices and said like, yeah, I can make a character out of this person. Let's throw them in. So when I look at the DLC is slated 2019 to early 2020, I think Nintendo is looking at the Smash DLC to not necessarily be like the quote unquote fan favorites. Like I don't think they're going to be picking the characters that every hardcore Smash fan necessarily wants, like very badly, because I'm looking at it as they already know the people that want some of these characters that badly have already probably bought Smash, are already going to buy Smash, are already going to probably even bought this DLC. So I think they're going to look at it more as like we want to promote some of our new games that are coming out in 2019 to, you know, Smash fans they're people that are super crazy and obsessed with Smash and that but might still be pretty big Nintendo fans and might want to check out these other Nintendo series. And I also see it as, you know, Smash is a big platform to promote stuff. Like they can show these characters off at events, all kinds of stuff. So I think they are going to be leaning more towards these characters promoting their new games and new games coming to Switch in 2019. And also like in terms of like third-party characters, which I do have some on here, I think they are also going to be more in line with like promoting third parties that are good friends with the Nintendo already and have a legacy with Nintendo already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where my thought processes was when I was thinking about my characters. And I also kind of cheated a little bit with some of them because I just kind of made more generalized themes and like picked like 1 or 2 characters. But I'll just go with this first one I have, which is going to be one that people don't like. But I think the timing of it is very sound and it will make sense. And I think the first DLC character we're going to see after Piranha Plant is a new Fire Emblem protagonist character from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
That is also one of mine.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was one of mine.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I think it makes too much sense because you think about the timing of the DLC. Like we know Piranha Plant is coming like probably end of January, early February, probably sometime in February. Right now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is slated for spring 2019
Yeah.
on Switch. They haven't shown too much of the game. They showed like an E3 trailer, and I think there's been like some magazine articles coming out because I was just kind of doing
not
some
much,
Google's-
but some stuff.
Google research, and they have shown like basically like what I'm assuming are like you have like your avatar kind of character that you pick card you make or whatever. But then there's like 3 other characters that I'm assuming are related to each of the 3 houses that you can probably side with.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'm thinking it's going to be one of those 3 characters. And like there are like just like character art of the characters out there, and like I went back and watched a trailer, and some of them are like briefly in the trailer. So I just have them actually, the 3 written down. So I had the first one is Edelgard, which is this like silver-haired lady. She's in like black and red, and like in the wiki article it says her main sources of attacks are swords, axes, and magic attacks. So they could work something like that. The second character they showed, which was in the trailer, his name is Dimitri. He has like blonde hair, and he has kind of like a more like traditional looking like set of like knight armor, and it's like has like blue kind of garb over it, and he uses lances and like spears and stuff. The third character is Claude. He's like an African American dude who has like dreads, and he has like a yellow like kind of like Alex, you'll get this. He reminds me of in Destiny 2, the original Warlock outfit that's like yellow and goldish.
Yeah, I'm looking
like his
at it right
outfit.
now.
Yeah, his outfit kind of looks like that. He uses like bows and arrows and like projectiles and stuff. My guess would be, or my hope would be, that it would be one of the first 2 characters, I guess, in some ways, because those characters were in the trailer and they seem maybe a little bit more appealing, probably more so Edelgard, I guess, because she has like a variety of stuff she uses, and she's like a female character, and I think she would fit in with like just her overall look. I think just fits in a little bit more with the Fire Emblem characters than the other 2 do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're for sure getting one of those 3 potentially as the first character, just because like that timing of it works up so well that like they could have Piranha Plant in like February, and then like this game comes out like later in the spring, like April or May, and then they drop the DLC character right around then too to promote the game.
Yeah.
Plus, I could see them releasing the Fire Emblem character before the next game to draw a pipe for the next Fire Emblem.
Yes.
It's like, get an idea or play as the new main character in Fire Emblem 3 Houses first in Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like, I had not played Corinne in Smash Brothers until we'd done it at Extra Life. And Corinne's like a super rad character. Plays very differently than any of the other Fire Emblem characters or any of the other Sword Wielders. So like, I think there's a lot of potential. Like, they essentially did this with Fates last time around when Fates was coming out, and they dropped Corinne as a DLC character before that was even out. So I think there's definitely a lot of potential for this, and it makes a lot of sense. I would say it's still possible that game is probably going to have a created character like the last couple major ones have. And it's possible that it'll just be your created character that ends up being the downloadable character.
Like your avatar character, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you though, of like Mike, of pulling maybe one of these kind of 3 major characters that has a little bit more of an established personality, so less of a avatar
that's
for the
basic.
player.
Because I mean, in some ways they pulled all of the characters in for Awakening, because you had Robin and Lucina. Robin was like the avatar character, and Lucina was like kind of your assistant. And then now in Ultimate there's Chrom, so they're both of your characters in that regard. So
yeah, and I'm way into more like gender fluid characters of like you could be a male or a female.
Sure, totally.
I like that stuff. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I just want a not sword character.
Yeah, like that, and that's like the ultimate thing is like.
Yeah, do you like I think a bow character could be really interesting, and such a departure from all the other Fire Emblem characters, or a lance character.
Or a lance character. I think like a mounted character could be cool too.
Or like even like with Edelgard, where she uses multiple weapons, it sounds like. Or maybe some of these other characters do too. Like even if they have like a sword in their moveset, like incorporate other weapons into their moves too. Like, but I definitely agree that like they have not done the best job of like bringing particular like the different
variety.
The diversity
of
that
characters
that
are in Fire Emblem. Yeah. So I think this would be an opportunity to do that for sure.
Corinne was a good middle ground because like it's more like the dragon characters that are in the Warriors of Fire Emblems, and Corinne is kind of that too.
he has like some sword stuff. She has like some sword stuff, but it's more about the dragon stuff around them. So I feel like they could totally do that with one of these characters, is like have some like base sword stuff, but then incorporate like other weapons into their moveset or something. Like there's still a lot they can do.
It always bugged me that Corrin was barefoot.
I'm into it.
I don't know why it bugged me, but it just did. I was just like, but you're barefoot.
Probably some weird dragon bullshit, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they just break the shoes anyway.
So I also had like a stage idea run down as more of like a dumb joke. The stage idea I had, as you know, there's the Fire Emblem stages in there. There's this one called Castle Siege. It's a brawl stage thing. So mine was just called Castle Under Siege, and it was basically if you watch like I think my computer. I'm still in. My computer like timed out. God damn it. Well, we're back. Basically, in Smash, or not Smash, the E3 trailer for Three Houses, like the thing they kind of showed a lot was like they seem like they're accentuating like their big fights in this. Or, like you're moving units around, but when it zooms into the actual battle, it's like you're like controlling a massive.
So they're like battalions.
It's like a big massive army essentially.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the vibe. So I was thinking of like in the trailer too, you see like this big kind of cathedral looking castle. So I was thinking you were like essentially fighting on that castle while like a big fight's going on, and you could be like dodging like, you know, various like bow and arrow fire or cannon fire, whatever like that's going on in the fight below. And you can just kind of see this like fight advancing back and forth kind of in the background and stuff. That's like this big battle going on. So
also, like,
shout out to Castle Siege, who did stage transitions before stage transitions were cool.
Yeah. I would say though, like, Fire Emblem Three Houses looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel
it's even console Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
When I saw
buy it right when it comes out, because console Fire Emblems go up in price crazy fast.
Yeah.
They don't make a lot.
I think I'll finally try out Fire Emblem when that game comes out.
Like the stuff that they showed of like those actual like battalions and foot soldiers, like tons and tons of people in the field. I thought that looked like incredible.
Yeah, it's a cool. It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure like there's more to it than just like what they showed.
Yeah. Whatever stage they pick, like Fire Emblem has like so much awesome lore and different ways to incorporate that into like places in the history of that franchise. I hope they pick something a little bit more interesting than like the kind of drab castles that they've picked up until now.
The battle, right? Like, this kind of big generic, like Colosseum was the other one from Wii U.
Yeah, like if they did like an actual battlefield where you have soldiers like fighting in the background, I think that could be something really cool.
Yeah, just have like this I would say like evolving battle or something would be pretty cool. Like just like starts off as like a skirmish and then like more units come in and like more varied units like come in and like do stuff. That'd be cool. Yeah, for sure. Who wants to go next? That was mine.
Well, it was technically all of ours.
Yeah.
So that's all. Okay, so do we just go again?
You try again. Let's take another shot.
All right, so this is my next one, and this is the theme for this next one. I technically have two characters in this, but it's basically Nintendo.
Mike's breaking his own rules.
I said that from the start.
Three Fire Emblem characters, and this one is two characters. You're breaking rules.
Yes.
You're breaking rules.
Break the rules.
I said it from the start that some of my characters were technically more like general themes, and I listed some characters in it. But this one, which granted, like this, also Fire Emblem was sort of this, but I think this one is also that because it could fit two different characters, and that is another Nintendo 2019, like heavily promoting a game. So the one I really hope is like my hope and dream is another Animal Crossing character, particularly Tom Nook. Because just think about it. Not only think about bringing him back, they had for the first time they had a Smash character reveal with Isabelle tie into like the reveal of Animal Crossing 2019. Think about another trailer that happens like Nintendo. This will be like Nintendo E3 time where they have like a full unveiling of this Animal Crossing game. trailer cuts and ends, and it goes back to Tom Nook in that same scene at his desk, and he just goes like, "Oh, I finally finished all this stuff for this new game. I hope you guys really enjoy it." And he gets a knock on the door, then a Smash invitation. Just comes back and they just pull a full circle.
Slice it
They pull a full circle and then get Tom Nook as a DLC character. Like, how fucking cool would that be if they pulled something like that?
That would be very good. I won't lie to you.
Yes, how fucking I would be like.
I respect how much you've thought about this.
Yeah.
I had that moment of thinking about that. I had another idea for a cool Animal Crossing character though, and this one I just kind of named it generically Animal Crossing Townsfolk, and that they would be sort of like an amalgamation of Isabelle and Villagers movesets, but basically they would kind of work like Bowser Jr. Cooperling, where like you'd have 8 different skins and it would just be different Animal Crossing like villagers. So it'd be like a gorilla dude and a lamb person and whatever.
Yeah.
I think that could be super fun.
Yeah.
I just think like there's only 2 Animal Crossing characters in Smash right now, and I think there's like 3 or 4 stages now, and I think that it's still like what Nintendo's more recently super popular series, and I think it's only going to get more popular with the Switch game, so it just makes sense for them to promote it. The idea for a stage I had with it was basically like a campsite, like kind of riffing off the mobile game, the Pocket Camp game. And it would be a stage that's similar to that Find Me stage, or that Me stage where like I think it's from the 3DS version, where you're like when you go through different levels of the stage, you can see into like a little like Me apartment, the Tomodachi Life stage. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And you can see like a different Me, like it'd be something similar like that. Like it'd be like a big like wood cabin, or like there'd be like a cabin and some like tractor trailers, like in you live in like when you run around them, you can like kind of like see in them, and there'll be like different villagers in them every time or something. But yeah, I think just getting an Animal Crossing character would be super cool, and it would again promote one of their 2019 games. The other 2019 title promoter was the theme of this one that I had was it would be towards the very end of this DLC cycle. And that would be a new Gen 8 Pokemon.
Okay.
I could very much see something like that happening again. There's Pokemon still continues to be incredibly popular.
Yeah, we're getting a big one next year too. It's gonna be huge. I think.
It's gonna be a big Switch title. It's gonna be their big holiday title. The thing I'd be more excited though is what they incorporated the stage in this character, and they did a completely new version of Pokefloats. Pokefloats 2.0.
Bring Pokefloats back.
Just like because I'm just thinking of like how Smash Ultimate looks and how beautiful it is. Like I would say like ultimately they can just make a more like proper stage out of like make like an actual float, like a parade float.
Yeah,
like
in a city
air,
too. If you did something like that.
You're like flight. Yeah, and there's like a city in the background, and you're kind of like fighting on it while it floats through the sky. And then like balloons come in around the stage that you can jump on, and they're of course like all different Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think that would be like one of the coolest MFN stages they could make in Smash.
People hate on it, but like Big Blue is one of my favorite stages of all time.
I think it's super fun too. But I also totally say that I would play as it is like 1 or 2 times, and then probably immediately turn it into a Battlefield stage when I get this game.
The music in Big Blue.
It is good music.
Gets me so hyped.
F-Zero music by itself is fantastic.
It's incredible.
It's great.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Totally agreed.
We're playing Big Blue.
We are.
I've decided
During
our stream that we'll talk about later. We're gonna play Big Blue.
Port Town Arrow Drive as well. I don't mind that stage either. The other one from Brawl. I think that stage is pretty fun too.
That was cool.
But yeah, those are kind of. I think we will get one or the other, for sure.
Those are good picks. I like that.
Yeah.
Scott.
Who's up?
I'm going with my boy, Gino. I still think I still feel pretty good that we'll get Gino at some point. Square Enix and Nintendo are buddy again, so
Square Enix needs some money.
I think I think we will get something Nintendo. I think we'll get something Square related.
Yeah.
Some RPG thing with all the Final Fantasies releasing on the Switch in the next year, and the fan outpouring of really wanting Gino. I can see us getting Gino But if we don't get Gino, I think a Final Fantasy character is a pretty safe bet.
I thought you would say that because I agree that we will get Gino. I definitely think that he's one of them.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I think Nintendo has like some level of reverence for that character as well. Super Mario RPG is still so well regarded. It was on the SNES Classic. I think that is still like a in our thoughts and minds character. And I think he just makes a lot of sense. Like, he's still that deep cut character for me that we kind of talked about, I think, on the last episode of like, who is this really kind of maybe only had one appearance in a Nintendo title, but like really resonated with people. And I think Gino is still absolutely that character.
And he made like little guest appearances in like little mini games and stuff, and I think in the Mario and Luigi games, and a couple of those.
Yeah, there's always like a Gino doll in the Mario and Luigi games, as far as I know. As well.
Yeah, Gino is like a master of the Easter egg. Like, in a lot of games, you can see Gino as an Easter egg.
Yeah, and I think you have such a long lineage of Mario RPG series. Like, you have to put somebody like, I feel like that series in all of its different forms should be represented some way. And I think Gino is like the best way to do it. I think Paper Mario would also be a really great way to do it, but I think Gino is the one that people would really connect with more.
I think that would get a lot of people more excited. Like, I still love your pitch for Paper Mario when you did that, but I think a lot of people would be like, holy crap, it's Gino, if they put in Gino, just because it'd be Nintendo and Square, you know, flat out saying, we know you love Gino, we love Gino too, kind of thing.
Yeah.
A feel good choice.
And also, like, I think Paper Mario has kind of like buried itself a little bit recently, and people still love Super Mario RPG. No one doesn't love that game, as far as I know.
Yeah, if you like, you've played it, especially if you grew up with it back in the 16-bit RPG days. It's like, that's always on the list of like top 5 RPGs for the Super Nintendo. Like, it was a solid game.
I need to play it still.
You should. I know.
I do want to. It's just
I've not played it as like an adult,
so many games still, so little time.
Yep.
So much Smash to play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like the Debbie Downer in it, but I definitely see the popularity for Gino. It's just, I guess it's just like my mindset on like some of the more requested characters that literally like a month ago we were talking about. Like, of course these guys are coming.
Yeah.
And then they didn't show up, and then I don't know. That's like something about my. And it's just the looking at it from the view of Nintendo are picking these characters. It's not that I don't think they see that like people want Gino, like people like in our circle of like people who are already like big fans of the game, of like older games and like Nintendo in general, and like people who are like literally making a podcast about one of their video games. Like, I think like that crowd is going to be more excited for Gino, but I'm just thinking of like they want to sell DLC, and I think they can look at characters that are going to have a slightly more broader appeal in some regard. Like, I think like they can look at Gino and be like, yeah, he has a lot of like a generally nicher fan base than like some of the other bigger and new games coming to their console next year, where I think they could look at it and just be like, yeah, there'd be people that'd be excited for Gino, but on like a bigger stage, there'd be way more people that are just like, who the heck is this kind of moment. I think that's just like a sad state that Gino's in.
Yeah.
But in that regard, though, I think because a lot of people thought Gino was going to be in Ultimate, back when the cast list of Ultimate was being picked, the relationship between Square and Nintendo was starting to get strong, but I don't think Square knew how big their titles would sell on the Switch.
Right.
So, and I think there's some licensing kind of back and forth between Nintendo and Square on who owns the rights to Gino. I think that's part of why we haven't seen Gino more in like since Super Mario RPG. So I'm almost wondering that because Octopath did so well for Square on the Switch, and with Dragon Quest coming and them releasing Final Fantasies and putting a lot of effort behind the Switch, if they realize it's like, okay, our games and our properties, they do well on the Switch, and this is a good place for us. We'll let you have Geno, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thought. And personally, I almost think that adding Geno would get more acclaim and kind of generate more buzz than a character from the new Fire Emblem.
I mean,
so many people, just because there's already so many jokes about another, like, whenever a Fire Emblem character is announced. And the Fire Emblem, I completely agree that we'll probably get another Fire Emblem from Three Houses. But in terms of generating that popularity, getting this kind of niche character that a lot of people have requested and that more people are being introduced to from the SNES Classic, I think that would generate more buzz than, I think, whenever we get a new character announcement from Three Houses, it'll just be, oh, it's another Fire Emblem character, regardless of like how cool they are.
Yeah, and like I agree in that regard, but I still think there are other characters that I'll probably bring up as especially from a third party perspective, that would be more buzz than a Geno. So I think that's like where I think the difficulty lies, is they have 5 slots to work with, and I think they're going to look more at it from a promotional angle, and like I don't think we're getting a new game with Geno in it in 2019. So it's just, I don't know. Like I totally understand what you're saying, and it's like like ultimately, if he made it in, that'd be super cool, and I'd be excited for fans. It's just I see the route where I could see it going either way. I could see it going either way, but I still see it going more towards they're gonna look at characters that are have slightly more mass appeal,
more clout, current clout,
more clout. Because even when you look at like the previous DLC for Wii U, like there wasn't really any deep cut characters.
Yeah.
Like the closest one was Lucas, I guess, but he was in a previous Smash game as a character.
It's hard to compare though, because like so many of those characters were returning characters, right?
Yeah.
Like Lucas, Roy, and U2 were all returning characters.
Yeah. Where you look at like the new characters introduced, they were like bombshell additions.
Yeah, they were big bombshells.
Yeah. And I just think I personally think if Geno were to have been in this game, he would have been in the or he would have made it into that initial roster. Like I don't think he would have. I think he would have, because I think he's on that same level, at least from how I've seen it, as like a King K. Rool and like a Ridley. And I think like even they were kind of like just a little bit above him, but I think he was kind of like the third out of those big three. And I think since he's not here in this regard, that I think he kind of maybe missed his chance at this point. But you know, who knows?
Yeah, I also see both sides, but I guess I fall more on I think he still has a pretty good shot, just because Nintendo is choosing it, and I think, like I said, there is some reverence within Nintendo for that character. It's hard for us to know like what that daily conversation is, right?
Exactly, because that's definitely a thing to bring up. Is they said Nintendo is choosing it specifically, but we still ultimately don't know 100% that means.
Yeah, and we also
because it doesn't know like people were like, I didn't see these specific wording going around, but like they were saying when Nintendo's choosing it, they are not even regarding like the character poll that happened a while ago. People are saying that's like not a thing anymore, but like I don't think that's been explicitly said. So like it's still a totally up in the air thing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that, but
I mean, like internally, like I don't know what the reverence for the people that are at Nintendo currently like have for that character, but I bet there's some there, and I think it would just be a fun.
And it's also
older Nintendo character.
Yeah, and it's also like I'm sure there are people there that definitely have reference for that character, but it's also, are they the people that have the choice making powers?
Yeah,
there's enough reverence at Nintendo for the game itself that they thought it was a good idea to put it on the SNES Classic though last year.
Yeah.
So there is enough reverence to that game specifically that I think Geno was one of the standout characters in Mario RPG 7 Stars.
Yeah. I think there's a shot.
But yeah, I think
Right.
I'm still in the Geno camp, man.
I had a stage idea for him as well, which is Bowser's Keep, because Bowser's Castle is still technically not a level in Smash Brothers, which is
it's not.
incredible to me.
Mm-hmm.
The damn shame.
Yeah, obviously, like between Mario Kart and the actual Mario Brothers games, there have been so many incredible Bowser's Castle levels.
Mm-hmm.
That I guess like if you were gonna do it in Smash, you'd want to do it right. I think like Bowser's Keep with the big sword in the background.
Yeah. Or
would-
Smithy, like with Smithy in the background,
Yeah.
hammering away and stuff. That could be cool.
But like having Exor as like a part of the stage could be like super cool.
Or even the like recreating the chandelier scene from the very beginning of it with the chain chomp holding the chandelier and you can like knock it down or something. That could be really cool.
And yeah, specifically like the music that they could pull for that level.
Oh yeah.
Which obviously like there's the Mario RPG Bowser's Castle music, which is very good. But there's, like I said, all these other like that
Mario RPG.
fucking incredible guitar track from Mario Kart 8.
Oh yeah.
Like put that in this level just for as another alternative. Like there's so many good pieces of music to put in that level.
I want to say that's in Smash Wii U. That's in Smash already.
I hope
So
so.
you're talking about the Bowser Castle music?
Yeah, from Mario Kart 8.
I want to say that's on one of the Mario Kart stages.
Good.
in Wii U. I could be wrong about that, but I think
Goddamn awesome.
yeah, it's incredible.
That's good.
Yeah. So
You're up,
guys-
Alex.
Yeah, you're up, Alex.
I mean, also mine was Geno, but I have another kind of recurring one here, which is my boy, my sweet son Banjo. I want to leave Banjo on the table always. But like our conversations on this show specifically make me feel like Banjo is just one of the more appropriate characters, especially from you, Mike, of like just these characters that have a specific connection to Nintendo's history. And I think like it maybe not like if it wasn't Banjo, I would hope to see some kind of other weird rare representation. But I think like just Banjo is
James Bond, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan in his like full
perfect-
flat face weird.
The perfect Dark Lady or the
Joanna Dark.
Yeah, the robot dog from Jet Force Gemini.
Dude, the robot dog from Jet Force Gemini would be dope though. But yeah, like I don't know, Banjo is so awesome. Like infinite stages would fit into his like appearance. Banjo and Kazooie. I had that character pitch last episode that like there's so many cool things you could do with Banjo. Whether it be like incorporating like you could do a Final Smash where he like incorporates like a vehicle from Nuts and Bolts, I think, which I know people might not like that game, but
I'd be here for it.
But like just like representing everything that Banjo's done in a really cool way could be awesome. This is just a character with so much Nintendo history. A lot of people still think of Banjo as a Nintendo character, even if his most recent game was on 360.
Yeah.
So like I think he just makes too much sense. Him and her, I should say.
Yeah, totally. I think he still has a decent chance, but I also think he. See, I don't want to keep being Debbie Downer on your guys' characters, but it's just like a lot of thoughts I've been having about like these.
It's a stretch at this point. Yeah, I get it.
It is like a stretch, and it's just like I'm just thinking of the scenarios in my brain of like how they could like basically make it so he's like a relevant thing. Like he's not that he's not a relevant character in some regards, but like as in like, is there something that would be coming out in 2019 that could be like, hey, in celebration of this thing. Like, it probably wouldn't be like a full-fledged new Banjo-Kazooie, but maybe like there's an N64 mini, and in conjunction with Microsoft, we're putting Banjo-Kazooie on the mini and putting him as a Smash character, or like something maybe like that to like incorporate him into a thing. Like,
see, I'm not on the train that they're going to gear the 5 DLC to things to try and market towards new games. I don't see that. They didn't really do that with the last time. They didn't do that with.
They did it with Fire Emblem.
Cloud.
With Fire Emblem,
Street Fighter.
with Fire Emblem, they did it with Bayonetta. they did it like Cloud was like a requested character, but they just did that because they could never happen. Like, and Street Fighter has like a reverence with Nintendo.
I think, but like,
I'm not saying I don't think that will happen. I don't see it happening with all 5.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I think like
I
two
think
of them
they will use it to market
marketing characters.
some games, but I don't think they're thinking for all 5 characters. Okay, this is what we have planned. This is how we're going to develop characters specifically so we can market the games.
I mean, it markets both things, and like we don't have the other thing that the Smash Wii U DLC had, and that was like returning characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they can do both in one shot, which I think because they want to sell this DLC, and I think they already have the Smash people in. So I think they want Smash to get a larger appeal, and I think that's what the DLC, like that's how they do it with the DLC. Because I look at like the characters they added into the base roster as like that was them like pulling one for the fans. That's gonna get like the biggest fans in, like adding in Ridley, adding in K. Rool, adding in the Belmonts, like adding every character back, adding all the stages back, completely updated. Like I think that's the thing they were going to use to get the most hardcore Smash people. Like they're already in just on that stuff alone. So like I see the DLC as them marketing it and as a way to bring people that are not necessarily completely in on Smash, but are like maybe fan adjacent, and trying to bring them in to Smash, or people that are waiting to Smash and trying to get those people out to their games. Like I think they can do both. Like I think they can have these characters be like characters that are more or less like marketing centric, but still be cool characters. Like I still think all of them would be cool.
Yeah, I think like no matter what, these characters are gonna be rad. I definitely am on the side of like, I think there will be some marketing style things. Like I think we're all in agreement that this Fire Emblem character is probably a lock. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I'm with you, Mike, of like maybe a Pokemon character as well, like one of the new starters, like Third Evolution. Could also make a lot of sense, but I also think my other 3 characers for me are big third-party bombshells, because I think Cloud,
I would say
splash.
generally, my other 3 characters are somewhat that too.
And I think like those are going to be big no matter what.
Yeah, and I think they are, but I still think they can make the choices of third parties and still have them be tied to Nintendo, because ultimately Ryu and in some ways Cloud, like their franchises are still tied to Nintendo and are in a way like being like pushing people towards Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, I think
so, like,
the characters
third-party characters can do that.
Yeah, the characters I chose definitely like are tied to Nintendo lineage.
And so that's why I'm trying to make, and that's why I guess I'm trying to make that more connection of like when I look at Geno and I look at Banjo now, I look back at like Ryu and also Cloud. It's like they're massive, and like, and I guess I compare them in those regards that like Cloud and Ryu are part of massive franchises that are still going, where those 2 characters, while extremely have like a fan base and would be awesome characters, they are not in that place. And I think there are other Square characters specifically. Like I have a Square Enix character on my list, or 2 technically, that I think would be more likely, in my opinion, than Geno. And I think Banjo would be awesome. I didn't put him on my list personally. 1, because I knew you very much obviously would have him on your list, so I wanted just 2 other characters. But I also think he's in that similar camp where he's not impossible. I don't think he's impossible by any means. But I think he's also like in this weird place where there's nothing, like Microsoft is not even doing anything new with him. So why would they want to bring this character in that's not really, obviously a fan.
Well, Mike, I live in a world where the next year is always going to be the year where Banjo's back. So that's just the reality.
I mean, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. I'm just looking at what we know right now.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, like I said, I guess where I came from with the ones I picked was not necessarily relevant today, but third-party characters that everybody would be stoked about, or people that love Nintendo would be stoked about.
And they totally are. So I'm not disagreeing with that. But
What's your third, Mike?
my third is the first of a few not so third-party characters, and I would say this one I've redeemed them as like they're like not so out there, where like they're characters that aren't necessarily being like super heavily talked about in I think conversations like these, but make a lot of sense. And the two I have Monster Hunter, and I also have Tails from Sonic as the two in this category, because like Monster Hunter is like they already have Monster Hunter stuff in Smash Ultimate. So I could totally be in a scenario where they just couldn't have a character ready in time.
Yeah.
And like some other stuff ready in time, so like they might already be like slotted in as DLC.
And World didn't come out on Switch, so Nintendo's still bitter. So. And
like Monster Hunter is incredibly popular on Nintendo consoles now. Like that's basically like the main platformer Monster Hunter for years and years.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense to just like make that stage they already kind of have, flesh it out into a more proper Smash stage, and then bring a Monster Hunter in and incorporate maybe a couple of different different weapons into a move set, and like give them make him like a gender fluid character where it could be like a male or female and different armor types. So like it make a lot of sense. And then Tails is another one where he's like that one Sonic character that always gets, I think, like overshadowed in a way, where like they could make Tails like a fun character and he would work. He is Sonic's like buddy and has been the second most like longest running Sonic character in the game. So
yeah, Tails is my favorite Sonic character, so
he could totally work, and I feel like he just gets overshadowed a little bit in some regard to like Knuckles and Shadow.
People think Tails is goofy. Silver the Hedgehog, much more popular than Tails. Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, it's weird. Sonic in a nutshell, it's fucking weird.
Sonic in a nutshell is fucking weird. Obviously, I'm with you on Monster Hunter, so
yeah.
I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
I think that would be one of the safer ones.
Good Capcom pick too, just outside of
they already have a bunch of Capcom stuff in there. Yeah. So it seems pretty likely.
God, there's so much Monster Hunter in that game already. It's just weird that there isn't a character.
They did like in that Rathalos boss fight. There's like a new remixed version of the original Rathalos like boss fight music from the original Monster Hunter.
That's right.
It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
What about you, Scott?
For my next one, I'm still feeling Lloyd Irving band.
Whatever.
Lloyd is on my list as well.
Nice.
Still going with Lloyd. I just think with them working with Namco to make this, I think it makes sense because it was a big seller for the GameCube. Tails is still going. In the West, I would say it's more popular than it has been, especially because now it's on Steam. It's open to a lot more people.
Yeah. I will say I've pivoted a little bit. Like I could at this point, my perspective has changed enough that I can see Yuri Lil as a character, since we know it's going to be like post Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. So
I would totally be fine with Yuri as well. I love Yuri.
Yeah.
Get back Troy Baker.
Get back Troy Baker.
Get back Troy Baker. But I think Lloyd or Yuri would be such fun characters to play. And it's just like they're made for Smash Brothers. They have the same kind of controls, and it just makes sense. So.
Yeah, it really does.
And such fantastic music, and you could do such cool stages. Like you could do one of the shrines, or you could do the Tower of Salvation for a level.
It's also like Tales at this point is one of these incredibly long-running Japanese franchises that has no representation in Smash, where I would say like some similar ones do. Final Fantasy, Street Fighter, every Nintendo franchise.
I mean, there was a Lloyd Me outfit.
Yeah.
So that did have that, but
it just makes a lot of sense. I'm totally with you, Scott.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think like a Dragon Quest character also would make sense, but I would rather have a Tails character.
Oh yeah.
That would be my fourth as well.
Fourth. Okay. Well, speaking of Dragon Quest,
there it is.
My fourth was another theme, which was a Square rep. I also think there's a Square rep. I have two characters in this category. I have Sora or a Dragon Quest protagonist. So
Man.
Sora from Kingdom Hearts or a
Fucking
Dragon Quest
love to see
protagonist.
Sora. God,
Sora would
damn.
I
be.
know. I like Sora would be really fucking cool.
It would be the
but like they
the
obviously,
cherry on top for 2019 as a
Mhm.
year.
yeah, they obviously couldn't go buck wild with him, but like I think they could still do him justice and
He would still be like such a
Give him a lot
fun
of-
character.
yeah, he'd just
Oh,
be
yeah.
really cool and they give him like all his different moves and he can glide and do a bunch of other stuff.
This
and,
is a
Mhm.
question now. What costume is he wearing?
I would say like since they're starting to work on DLC now, he probably have his. I'd say he'd probably just be 3.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Kingdom Hearts 2
I would think
they would go. I think
or Dream Drop.
I could see them doing like 3 or just like his classic look, where it was like Kingdom Hearts 1 look.
Yeah, I would
Let's
hope
see.
they have multiple costume options.
Or,
but-
yeah. They could do multiple. That'd be cool too. Like they did that, like they did with Cloud. Like he has like
His Advent Children
like,
outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has Advent Children. Sora.
Yeah, I would think
Um,
3 and 2, those 2 outfits. I would
Yeah.
hope for those
But yeah,
two.
Sora would be super cool. But I also think they could do really cool stuff with Dragon Quest. Like I know, like I think when a lot of Dragon Quest stuff comes up, a lot of people bring up slime in particular, because like the weird thing coming up with people being like, well, piranha plants in anything is possible. So a slime. That's like I don't know if that's like the first reaction you should have towards that necessarily, but all right. But I think
Mhm.
it would be super cool. Like I'm not the most familiar with like Dragon Quest stuff. I literally just purchased 11 today and we'll start
Mhm.
playing it probably the next week or two. But I do want to like it's always been a series I wanted to check out. So but I think this would be really cool and like more so this would kind of more cater towards the Japanese audience in some ways. But I think if they took one of the very classic Dragon Quest characters, like I think I was like kind of like searching around just seeing like general thought on Dragon Quest, and it seems like Dragon Quest 3 in particular is like the most popular one in Japan. Like the main character from 3, like at least in by Japan standards, is kind of considered the like Cloud equivalent of like a character and like iconic character. And he's like I think he like to the point where like that character is referenced in other Dragon Quest games, and like the events of Dragon Quest 3 have like made like other events.
Yeah,
in
the
different
first
Dragon
3 games are part of its own trilogy.
Quest- Okay.
Okay.
And then 4 through 6 is its own trilogy. And then the other ones are all individual. Like there's with
It's
there
like-
might be Easter eggs or
Just like
something.
references to other ones, like Dragon Quest 11 references one of the other ones, right?
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten to many of like I'm probably 40 or 50 hours in Dragon Quest 11. I think there's nods, but I don't think it's like referencing necessarily back directly to the
Right.
I haven't noticed anything referencing directly back to any of the other
Gotcha.
outside of some designs.
But that was just kind of like again I don't really know much about the series, but that was just like this the general consensus I saw online from people where like Dragon Quest 3 is like the most popular, and like the main character from that one is kind of considered the like Cloud of the franchise more or less
I will say,
in some regards.
shout out to Dragon Quest 3's protagonist Erdrick.
Yeah.
You could choose between male or female.
Male or female. Yep.
In
And
1988,
it's
which is
class based.
Yeah.
that's
You
really
like
have
they
a
cool.
could- they-
system.
Yeah, exactly. So they could incorporate a bunch of cool stuff with them and like magic, and of course have like all the cool classic Dragon Quest sounds with them.
That's
So
really cool.
yeah, I think there's stuff they could do with that character. And again, he had as much as I would like Sora, like Dragon Quest has much more of a long running lineage and legacy with Nintendo specifically. So
That's
I
also
just-
like that's a cut for Japan, right? Like we
Yeah,
are the
yeah,
Western audience,
exactly.
and we are picking
Yeah.
Western audience characters.
Exactly. Like ultimately, Nintendo's a Japanese company, so they're like while they're gonna definitely look at what the West wants. Like I mean, they put freaking Ridley and King K. Rool in this game, so they're definitely looking at what the West wants.
Yeah,
But I think them still looking at Japanese characters, and even like look at when they did do that, like specifically with Melee, they put Marth and Roy from Fire Emblem in that game, and like I would say like the majority of people that are now probably into Fire Emblem that are like around our age probably got introduced to Fire Emblem by Marth and Roy being in Melee, and like I'm sure that's a lot of people. So like that single-handedly popularized like a giant Japanese franchise in the U.S. in some ways. So that could totally be that kind of gap to like introduce more people to a Japanese franchise here in the U.S. So,
it was what got me into Fire Emblem was Smash Bros. Mainly. So
yeah, that's.
I
I will say
to that.
I won't jump to my 5th character, but my 5th character is very much that in a nutshell in some regards.
Okay.
But we can move on to one of your guys' final characters.
Scott.
I'm going for a bit of a deep cut.
I like it.
Go for it.
Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah, very deep cut.
I don't know. I've seen people going around saying they want him in there. I hope that deep of a cut.
No, I know.
I think he's like in like with, well, not necessarily full on, but like he is like maybe like in a Bayonetta tier.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he'd be a fun character that a lot of people would be like, holy crap, Dante's fighting Cloud and Ryu and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that could be really big. And with the new Netflix series coming, and with Devil May Cry 5, granted it's not going to be on Switch or anything, but I could see Capcom being like, here you go, have Dante.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then
Sure.
maybe bring the previous games over to the Switch.
Or
Samanosuke. Could do Samanosuke from Onimusha.
Man, that would be good.
That's coming.
Coincide with that re-release.
That's like the true deep cut.
Yeah.
They actually pulled that off, but
I just like I'll be the Debbie Downer on this one. I just don't see any reality where that happens.
Jeez.
I it's not that I don't.
Oh,
think...
it's the This is more of the. This would be really cool if it happened, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah. And I say that knowing full well, like my last character, which we'll get to in a second, 0 chance, 0 possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a handful of characters we even said.
Yeah.
As much as we want them, there's probably a low chance. But that's
Fire
the fun
Emblem
of
character, it's not gonna happen.
That's the fun of this. Yeah, no, never, never.
But you know, hindsight's 2020. I don't know. Dante is one of those things.
This is just
cool.
fun. Who cares?
Yeah.
I think he could have a really fun move set. Like with all his different, like his nunchucks, or like now his fucking motorcycle chainsaw sword.
Pandora's
thing.
box, bring it back. It's the only good part about Devil May Cry 4, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dante would be super cool. I don't
and then
know
have Devil Trigger.
Oh yeah,
Pull Devil Trigger.
and it plays
in
the
Smash
music.
Brothers.
That'd be good.
Actually, Devil May Cry might be
Very
worth
good.
it. Just get that music in Smash Bros.
Yeah, just to get some of those, a couple tracks in there.
I was gonna
I'd
say
take it.
because I had some great stage ideas for Lloyd of like different places, like in front of the big tower or something for Tales of Symphonia, but like there's one specific track which is Fighting of the Spirits, is one of the best tracks from Tales of Symphonia. Some of the music in that game is phenomenal, and I would just love to have it in Smash Bros.
So good.
I'm sure George and Jarrett and Logan are all looking forward to our best DLC downloadable Smash Brothers soundtrack score.
2019.
Best DLC character.
I already said that in our Slack all day. I was like, we gotta figure something. Game
Yeah,
of the year
we're probably
with
gonna have
the
to break out Smash
soundtrack because like I was like I'm not you're not leaving this podcast recording until we put Smash at the top of that list.
I don't know if we'll
like,
do soundtracks, so it might work out.
Exactly. We might not do that, so
yeah, I'm with
which
you.
is fine. Yeah. So you have your number 5, your final one, Alex.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'll be honest. I could not think of 5 characters.
That's fair.
Because like
I was
thinking in the same space as you, Mike, of like kind of categories, and of like, okay, you know, Gino's like this kind of older Nintendo character, Fire Emblem character is like a newer Nintendo character, Banjo's third party, Lloyd's third party, and also like a Namco rep that isn't fucking Pac-Man. Please. Not that I hate Pac-Man, I just like there's so many amazing franchises, and they're also helping make this game, so please. So I just thought one that would be really cool and would also be like a deep cut Square Enix character, which is Chrono Trigger, Mr. Chrono himself.
Oh man, that'd be sick.
Which would just be like he's like legitimately perfect for Smash Brothers. Like you could pluck him out of Chrono Trigger, make him a 3D character model, and like oh yeah, I know all of his moves like right off the top of my head.
Right.
Like all right, this is X slash, this is this. He uses thunder. And also like Final Smash, like Frog jumps in and they do an actual X slash or something like that. But also like the music, the different stages, like the perfect stage would just be like the kind of cliff side with the moon in the background, and you can see what's his face Magus like standing on the edge with his cape flowing, like and it just plays sick. Magus's music, which just like put that in any video game and it becomes better. Yeah, like I don't know, there's just so much you could do there that would be like, I don't think hard at all, and I think would make so many people so happy. Like it would bring joy to a very huge group of people that regard that as the greatest RPG ever made.
It would bring so many people. It would make so many people happy, and then immediately salty when Square doesn't announce a new Chrono game.
Yeah, or a remake or a remaster, which they should do.
That could start it for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just like one third party that I think would just be perfect in a lot of ways. Probably won't happen, but
right.
That's it.
Yeah, so I'm with you. Like that would be such a cool reprisal of a character, but it's just it's just hard to see actually happening.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so upsetting because like I could see them doing the announcement trailer. Like I could see just seeing his like red hair the first time, you'd be like, oh fuck, like the amount of excitement.
Oh, it would be cool.
Or just start to say, cool. You know that trailer would start with like the pendulum swing.
Yeah, the pendulum swing. There's so many, and like that music is so incredibly iconic to me. As soon as I heard like the first note, I'd know exactly what it was, and I think that would be true of a lot of other people too.
Yeah. I totally want that. My final character our final character theme is also in a similar vein, in that it's just a very surprising third-party character. Like I didn't get a lot of characters down because I literally was like changing this last minute, but I think that this is where like a character like Banjo-Kazooie would fall, a character like Chrono would fall. I wrote one down which was kind of still fitting into my theme of being somewhat more promotional-esque, and this is just like it's a surprising one in that it's like a weird, not super popular choice, but is like another a somewhat more current Japanese character that is from a franchise that's like super pop in Japan, does not hit its mark over here, and that's Yokai Watch. And there is Jibanyan, which is like the Pikachu of Yokai Watch. It's like this little orange cat with tails. I specifically thought this to mind because I was just looking at 2019 Nintendo titles, and Yokai Watch 4 is making its like console debut on Nintendo Switch. Like Yokai Watch has been like an exclusively Nintendo console or a Nintendo game. Like even though it's like it's I think it's level 5, so it is like technically like a third-party franchise. I'm pretty sure, but it's always only been on Nintendo consoles. And that's making its first big jump onto a console, so I could see this thing where Nintendo being like, hey, let's put that character in, because like one, it's very popular in Japan, and so they like a lot of the younger Japanese audience are already going to recognize this character and be excited to see them, and putting him in Smash or like Yokai Watch in general in Smash, this like is bringing in like a slightly newer franchise. Like in like a vein that like Bayonetta kind of was in Wii U, where like she was kind of like ushered in as a Nintendo character now, more or less, and as like a slightly newer franchise. And I think just potentially being a character there could bump up its popularity here. When it's brought over here, it's included in Smash, and people see it in Smash. Because I played the first Yokai Watch on 3DS when it came out, and I thought it was actually like pretty fun. It's like lighthearted. It's basically like a really simple JRPG.
It's cute.
It's cute. It has actually some pretty good music. That was just like I think that's like another character that's like it could happen, but probably wouldn't actually happen. But I think it fits in that vein of like this is a weird character that I don't think no one would have expected as like a surprise kind of third party thing. So
yeah, I think that makes sense, and also I just want to hear the announcers say Jabanyan.
Yeah, Jabanyan.
Jabanyan.
Yeah, or there's some other good ones. There's because like the whole premise of it is like they're like spirits. They're yokai. Yokai is, I think, literally like either Japanese for like spirit or ghost or something like that.
Yep.
And like the whole thing is like there's a yokai that like inherits like a thing. So like a certain yokai when it's in the presence of a human will make them like sad or like happy or make them fart.
Nice.
Like cheek squeak in particular. Is literally like this little dude that has a butt for a face. and when he's near him, he just makes people fart. So
Cheek Squeak for Game of the Year 2019.
2019. So yeah.
This one yokai.
So that's I guess that's all of our DLC ideas and predictions. That was fun.
That was fun. There's a lot.
Yeah, it was.
We had a lot of.
The best thing is it could be 5 characters that we didn't mention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It could be 5 characters we had no idea. It could just be 5 more Mario characters.
Please, I hope not. If like they have 9 representation already.
Yeah,
so.
just, here's Pink, Gold, Peach, baby Mario, and baby Luigi.
And here's Link's motorcycle as a character.
Here's Link's motorcycle.
Eponia.
No, like the motorcycle from Breath of the Wild in the DLC.
That'd be pretty funny. Here is a GameCube controller because all you fucks are wilding out over the controller.
Here is Bumblebee
As a
from the
character.
new Bumblebee Transformers movie.
Here's a hyper realistic Mr. Mime.
It has hair on its head.
Detective Pikachu in theaters now.
Here's Detective Pikachu's human partner, who is just a dude.
That's his name. Dude!
Dude!
Yeah.
So hopefully it's all of those instead of the dumb bullshit we said.
I really want the human man from Detective Pikachu now as a playable character.
Dude versus Bumblebee.
That's everyone truly is here in my opinion.
Yeah, finally everyone is here.
Yeah.
So, well, I think unfortunately we have to cut it here.
Yeah, we've gone pretty long.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have time to cut these trailers, but I think we can do a quick.
We can do a quick ranking.
Yeah.
I think what I meant is we can do what's next for Podcast Ultimate.
Okay.
And Smash over on irrationalpassions.com in general, because I think we will have another chance to rank these.
Yeah, true.
We can rank them while we're playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. Or like we could always try and do like a post-release kind of just generalized discussion, and we can rank them there also.
We can also rank all the different versions of this most recent Mosaic trailer that they put out, where people have now just started laying music onto it, which we haven't talked about at all in this episode, but that's the thing that happened. It's pretty
Yes, that was quite an event. That's a good trailer too.
The trailer by itself I don't think is good because there's no music and it's really weird.
Yeah, I guess. I like the aesthetic of it. And like,
I love how it looks. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally feel like
choreography of it is fantastic.
Yeah, like I 100% feel like that's going to be incorporated into like the actual opening of the game. At least I hope it is.
We talked about that. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I really hope it is. But yeah, Smash, once again, we are like basically 15 days away from Smash Ultimate being in our hands. We'll be playing it at this time in 15 days.
If you don't know how far away we are, you can follow at Mike Hits the Wall on Twitter.
Follow Mike Hits the Wall.
His Twitter name is changed every day to show the amount of days until Smash Brothers.
There's like
Damn straight.
There's like a really cool literally I Google searched it or searched on Twitter, and there's literally just like a Smash countdown. Like Twitter, and literally every day it just posts like the correlating like character number. So today's 16, so it's Sheik. So like they basically just post like alongside how many days will let the character correlate to the number. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so on the day it comes out, we'll be streaming it. Honestly, I have not gotten the phone call yet. It'll probably be pretty closer to when it actually comes out. but if my place I pre-ordered from, the popular gaming, stop
Popular stop for all your gaming needs.
yeah, power to the players and all that shit. If they give me a call saying that I can pick it up Thursday night at 9 p.m., I will be there, and I will be on the internet streaming it as soon as I get home.
Yeah. We're streaming at night at some point, I think.
Yes, yeah, and then on the actual, I'd say for us on the actual Friday, like I'll probably wake up. I'm off that Friday. I took off that Friday. I'm going. Oh.
Yeah, my dude.
Yeah. I'll probably be jumping on in the morning and playing, and just kind of. I'll probably be doing. That's where I'll probably be doing the single player stuff. And then that night, once we are all kind of together, and maybe some other guys,
some of us will be working until like 7 p.m.
I'll be joining late because I have my party, but afterwards.
Yeah. And then
during the day, Friday, I'll be around.
So. Yeah, and like we're gonna probably get a bunch of people together online and in a group arena, the arena thing, and just
we'll probably be doing
some smashes,
some Discord stuff too if people want to play with us. So I think the OKBC boys we're gonna try and rope into that. I mentioned they will too. They also will be streaming it. So
yeah, and that'll pretty much be all of. I mean, realistically, that'll probably just be the majority of that weekend.
Yeah.
The launch weekend will be any of us either streaming it or all of us together streaming it or just playing it in general that weekend.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I might even try and look into actually running like tournaments, and starting something up like that maybe one day. Maybe not like a regular thing, but maybe every so often.
Yeah.
And then I may be thinking like week or two after the game comes out, we can kind of get back together and do like a post show,
post-mortem
podcast ultimate finale
post mortem, where we can kind of talk about what we like about the game, what we don't like, what we hope
our favorite music tracks,
favorite whatever.
Our favorite spirits.
We'll probably rank the trailer.
We're gonna rank all 100,000 spirits.
Yes.
I think we're going to get the first DLC character announcement at the Game Awards.
And that would be hype. I think it'd be too early, but it'd be hype.
Yeah, I would be very happy if that did happen, but I think it is also a little too early.
I could see just a silhouette, like a model of the guy or something, just blinking in. It's like the first character.
Like I see us getting like a Nintendo Direct around end of January, early February.
Yeah.
That's where we'll get. That's where we'll get like more on Piranha Plant, and then probably see like I see that happening then, where we get like the first character after Piranha Plant, then we just get like a bunch of silhouettes or something like that.
Yeah, maybe at that point that would be really exciting. Actually.
Yeah.
So they do that for Street Fighter, and that's cool.
Yeah, like something like that, exactly. And then after that, who knows, man? I'm sure we'll be randomly.
We will do an episode. We might do after
like
that
some more. We might do some more Let's Plays. We might of actually us playing Smash Ultimate together. Whatever. There will be plenty more stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
Always, look out on our Twitters. Look out.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter or join us in our Discord. We'll have a Smash channel.
Ooh, yeah.
Follow us on. Yeah, that's a good idea. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us subscribe to us on YouTube. You'll see more Smash stuff if you want to see Smash stuff here.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you want to see other stuff that's maybe not even Smash related, but video game related.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We talk about other video games. We're gonna start our limited run Kingdom Hearts podcast
enough.
After this is over. So
we're gonna start our Anthem podcast. Like, I don't know, there's some cool fucking robots in there, I guess. I'm that idiot buying the special edition that lets me play on February 1st. I'm an idiot, but who cares? Let's go.
I appreciate the hype for it. So I would say like in the event that they announce a like season 2 also, or like there's like some big Smash news that we don't expect, I would say that the Ultimate might come back together. So
for sure.
The Smash logo will shine in the sky, and we'll look. Yeah. It will be summoned.
We'll all look over our shoulders, and a burning Smash logo will just be in our eyes.
God
it's,
damn,
it's like
so
the Thundercats logo, when the Thundercats logo's up in the air, and everyone dramatically looks off screen at it.
Yeah. God damn it, that Splatoon kid looking with the Burn and Smash logo.
Yep.
It's honestly, it kind of made everything great.
Yep. That's good. I've included it in this list, as you can see, of rank trailers. We will rank them one day, I promise.
Yeah, we'll try and rank them. We wanted to rank all the like reveal trailers of each major character.
Yeah.
We'll try and do it on the last episode because I think that is still worth doing.
Yes, totally. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all very good.
But yeah, there's gonna be Mike,
lots of Smash coming.
Mike, are you gonna try and review Super Smash Brothers?
Honestly, probably not. Just because it's like I feel like that's a game you don't necessarily need to have a review for.
Yeah.
Like in some ways, like
it be like a unofficial one, like a post-mortem when we do our post-mortem.
Yeah, like we could totally do that. Yeah, in the podcast.
A joint.
Be like, what's a reviewed score we would give this game? Number. We can do it then, but I don't think I'll do like a more full-on video for it, just because I don't really know who that serves when we've already done so many other video. By that point, we'll have played the game for hours on a stream where they can see what we think about it. And
the conversation that we will have on that ultimate finale, I think will be more worthwhile than any written or video review.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like Smash is one of those games that reviews aren't needed, because if you like Smash, you're gonna get Smash. If Smash Brothers games haven't interested you up to this point, you probably won't get Smash Brothers Ultimate.
You're either in or you're not.
Right.
You're either good or you're bad.
Right. You're either right or you're wrong.
You're either us or you're the rest of our editorial team.
Yeah, for real. They're gonna
hate us so much.
They're gonna hate us. They're gonna hate my ass when I start bringing up Smash and
for
too many viewers, of these categories.
For the viewers and listeners, we have a special Slack chat in the IP's Slack. That's
probably good.
Where we the three of us just talk about Kingdom Hearts and Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it was initially for Kingdom Hearts, but then the Smash hype got real. It's now labeled Kingdom Smash.
Yeah,
which I just think is pretty good.
Yep, that's pretty good. It sounds like a bad mobile game, but hey, I'm here for it.
Hell yeah. But yeah, everyone out there, enjoy Smash Brothers.
Yeah, man.
Enjoy Smash Brothers, and thanks for everyone that's tuned into this.
Answered our straw polls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, voted in our polls.
What won the last straw poll? Do we have that?
I did have it a second ago. Admittedly, I just kind of.
I was gonna say also.
Forgot about this last one just because it was kind of like everything was out, so it was just kind of like, well, no one's probably gonna vote on this now because they're just gonna be like, oh, I already know all these characters, you idiot.
I will say I also did write a pitch for this episode.
You did?
Didn't we kind of all pitch 5 characters?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote like an actual full pitch. I don't know if you guys wanted to hear it, but it was pretty good. I thought.
Hold on.
I could get through it quick, so.
No, hold on.
Yeah, you're good.
Is it who I think it is?
It's probably not who you think it is. I don't think anyone is going to guess who this is. It's not Goku.
Okay, great. So
I thought about actually just doing Goku though, just because it would be
just an official pitch.
I was waiting for you to bring that bullshit thing back.
No.
So we had here's the straw poll, and this is mostly just because once we finished that last episode, we literally got the direct days after, so I kind of just forgot about this and didn't pay attention to it. But we got a whopping 6 votes.
Hell yeah!
Episode 4 character poll. That was our characters were Sceptile. I picked Scott had Wonder Red, and Alex said Banjo Kazooie. With 1 vote, Wonder Red.
Damn.
With 2 votes, Sceptile.
Damn.
Banjo Kazooie won with 3 votes.
Hell yeah!
It's a very contentious 6-vote straw poll. But yeah, again,
they were all me.
That was on me. Because that was on me.
That's okay.
I just completely forgot about it after the characters got revealed. I was like, oh. By the time I remembered about it, I was like, oh yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be like, why are you showing me these 3 random characters that I literally are not going to be in this game? So. Anyway.
My character pitch was Billy Hatcher.
Okay, I'm in.
You want to hear his specials? Because I wrote all this out.
Okay, how many times does he throw his egg around?
A lot. That's his side special.
Great.
Because I was like watching Billy Hatcher. I did research. I watched Billy Hatcher gameplay. I was like, what would Billy Hatcher be?
I was just outside of not even looking at this character pitch. You just wanted to.
Yeah, I was doing research on Billy Hatcher just in general. My idea for his like neutral special was like if he lost his egg or his egg hatched, it would call his egg back, so he would like pull one out of the ground or something.
Okay.
And then that's like on a cooldown, and when you do that again, it'll make the egg bigger because like you're feeding the egg fruit in the original Billy Hatcher and making it bigger before it'll hatch. So I like the idea of like periodically, if you do more of your other specials, you can then use your neutral special to make your egg bigger.
Cool.
So his side special is he rolls, and my idea for him was that all of his regular attacks are like directional movements that help build momentum. So he's always trying to go faster because he does more
Gotta
damage.
go fast.
He's like Sonic.
Sonic.
Everyone's favorite character. But he is kind of like Sonic in a weird way. And that like that game is a lot about momentum. So you're building momentum with all your neutrals, and then your side special will give you like a big boost. And if you are going fast enough that like he's like holding onto the egg, so he's like spinning and rolling with it, which is a thing that happens in that game that I totally forgot about. And then you hit your side special, like when you contact someone, it like does a huge impact. I think that would be cool. His down special is to break his egg, so he'll like smash it down and it'll break the egg. And if it is big enough, it'll hatch to like a big creature that can do an attack. Kind of like my idea was kind of like Warrior's fart attack, which like charges
over time.
Over time without you necessarily doing anything. But if it's small, it'll just do like a smaller attack, and then like a little creature will fly out. And then you'd have to summon your egg back up. And his up special is in a similar vein to that, where he like gets on top and jumps off his egg, and that shoots it down, and you can actually hit people with it and then go back and collect your egg. Or you can like use it to throw yourself off the stage. I like the idea of him having to kind of nurture this resource that is making him more powerful as he's fighting.
That could be cool.
And building momentum, but you actually have to take care of it. Like, you have moves that will disconnect you from it, and then you have to go collect it. And again, you always have that kind of neutral special that will bring the egg back. And then his final smash is that he like summons a giant egg, and he does his cock-a-doodle-doo, which I forgot was the thing that he does it in that game. But when you get your egg big enough, you can like crow, and he'll do like a little like very Japanese sounding cock-a-doodle-doo, and the egg will hatch. It's awesome. I was like, man, Billy Hatcher was fucking jolly as hell. And then like a big monster will come out. In my head, I thought of like a T-Rex, but something more interesting than that. And would just do a big attack.
Could be cool.
Just do like various other Sega things. That's Sega, right? That Sega?
That is Sega, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to pitch it just because I spent way too much time on it, and I thought it was actually a really cool character.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty cool idea. But I, honestly, as soon as you started talking about Billy Hatcher, the theme song got stuck in my head. Now I just don't want it. The theme song was just too much.
I will say the Billy Hatcher music, when I was going back and watching it,
I was gonna say, I just remember that theme. I don't remember anything else. I did play that way back in the day. I think I just randomly rented it from Blockbuster. Yeah. But I also do own a Nintendo GameCube now, so who knows?
Anything is possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything's possible. Billy Hatcher, I do. For when I bought all those games for Extra Life that we ended up mostly not playing. Yeah, I did get a bunch of discounted things. So.
Oh, did we still want to do the last straw poll of all of the winners of our pitches?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'll put it together last minute, so that'll be like 4 characters. So that'll be up. You'll see the link down below.
In the description below.
You can vote on all the characters that have won pitches.
Yeah.
That's Paper Mario, Gino, I think Lloyd Irving, and Banjo-Kazooie, I think, are the 4.
Yeah.
I'm sad that your characters never won, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I had some. I think I had fun choices, but they were like
you had the more interesting.
somewhere out there ones. But like after I like everyone was just being like a Banjo Kazooie and like the most obvious ones.
Man, that's why I brought Billy Hatcher, man.
I'm never gonna get anywhere with these guys, so it's fine.
No one's ever gonna vote for Billy Hatcher, but I would.
Yeah, exactly. All badges is in our heart. But
yeah.
That's it for us here. We'll see us in the future with many more Smash.
Stay tuned to our Twitter. You'll see all about our Smash stream plans and join our Discord to join in tournaments and chatting with us. It'll be awesome.
Yeah. Look out for follow us on Twitch. And you'll see we'll be smashing it up a bunch. So thanks again for watching and voting and everything again. See you guys later.
We love you. Bye.
Have a good time, everybody.
Goodbye.